So first of all, we want to realize that the majority of firms, of exporters, when they export their goods, they do a thing that it's called price discrimination. Charge a price which is different and discriminates across different markets, different destinations. You know, an example of this is, for instance, Mango. Um, if you have no idea what Mango is, it's a clothing company, a Spanish clothing company that sells, you know, goods everywhere in the world, I would say. And when you look at the price of this dress, you can see that it's very different across countries. Okay? Why can that be a problem? Well, that can be a problem if a company is charging a price below cost. Okay? If a company is doing dumping. So charging a price which is lower than the average cost, or charging a price which is lower than the domestic price. Now, but so here we have the local demand. So the local demand for the foreign monopoly, this star. So this is like a toy producer in Thailand, right? That faces a particular local demand, this star. Local marginal revenue, MR star. And for some reason, this foreign monopoly is the only allowed seller in the foreign market for whatever reasons. Okay, maybe there's ridiculously high tariffs that put the price of foreigners higher than the highest possible price than the monopolies would choose, so that they cannot compete, or whatever. There's a quota of 0. Okay, in any case, this foreign monopoly is able to influence the prices in the foreign economy. Now, when it exports, its prices are constrained by the world price of the good. Okay? So the foreign monopoly can charge a different price in the in the foreign economy than it does in the home economy. In the foreign economy, the foreign monopoly is a monopolist, so does whatever it wants. In the home economy, in the world, the foreign monopoly is constrained by the world price. Okay? So this is going to be the reason why the foreign monopoly can price discriminate, can charge a price at home, which is different than a price abroad. Okay. So before we look at prices, let's see about the equilibrium quantities. And this is where the tricky part comes in. Okay? Because here, not only we have to decide whether or not to produce an additional unit of output, but we also have to decide where to sell it. Okay? Should we sell it at home, or should we sell it abroad? Should we sell it in the local foreign market, or should we sell it in the export market? Okay? So let's start here. So let's start with the initial units. Let's start with the initial unit, unit 0. Okay? So what we do here? Well, if our marginal cost is MC star, right? If we sell it abroad, we get a price P, right? So we could sell it abroad, but if we sell it domestically, locally, our marginal revenue is 0. So it's certainly more convenient for us to sell the initial quantity in the local economy, right? Because the marginal revenue is higher than the marginal revenue of exporting the good, and higher than the marginal cost. Okay. So long as this marginal revenue curve, local marginal revenue curve, is higher than the export price, and it's higher than the marginal cost curve, we're gonna sell these goods from 0 to Q2 in the local economy. Okay. At point C, we are indifferent between selling the unit, the additional unit at point C, in the local economy, and selling it abroad, because we make exactly the same marginal revenues. Okay. But when we jump ahead and we sell an additional unit, then the export price is higher than the local marginal revenue. So that means that this additional unit is going to be exported, it's going to be sold abroad. And we're going to do that because this export price is still higher than the marginal cost curve. Okay. So between Q2 and Q1, we're going to, produce goods, produce them, until the export price equals the marginal cost curve, okay? But we're gonna sell them abroad, okay? Because the export price is higher than the local marginal revenue, okay? So now, same figure, let's now look at the prices, okay? So what is the price that we charge in the local economy, in the foreign economy for the foreign monopolies? Well, it's the price P star. We know that the quantity Q2 is the quantity that we sell locally, and so which is determined, at point C, as we saw before. And so when we trace that quantity back to the demand curve, we find the local price of P star. Okay? When we export, well, the price is decided for us. We cannot do anything about it, and so we're going to charge a price P. Okay? So on top of that, we're going to draw here the average cost curve, AC star. Okay, we could draw this pretty much, well, not everywhere, but we could draw in several different places, and we're still going to have this interesting result. Now, let's compare the local price P star with the average cost. You can see that the local price P star is higher than the average cost. Okay? The average cost is computed, is evaluated at the total revenue, at the total quantity Q1. Okay, so the average cost of the company is this point here, AC1. Okay, local price is P star is higher than the average cost. But wait a second, the export price P, well, it's lower than the local price. But what's surprising here, what doesn't make any sense, is that the average cost is higher than the export price. Okay? So it looks like we're making a loss by exporting the good, right? Because we exported a price P. For each of these units, we're paying a cost AC1. So all of this is a loss, right? So how is this possible? Well, let's look at also the profits that we make. We sell a price P star in the local economy, and the local cost, the total cost, average cost is AC1. So the profits that we make, the positive components of the profits that we make is this red rectangle here. So basically our total profits are the red rectangle minus the blue rectangle. So you might say, well, what if we ignore the foreign economy, right? Because by exporting the good at a price P, we are making a loss. So what if we don't do that? Well, if we don't do that, yes, we're not going to make that loss. But the average cost that we face, if we only produced for the local economy, would be Q2, that's the quantity. The average cost would be at this point here. This would be AC 2. Okay, that point here would be AC2. Okay, so the average cost would be higher, and we would basically make a smaller profit. Okay, smaller unit profit for the local economy. Okay, so since we know that the optimal quantity we should produce is Q1, what this is saying is that by actually producing more units of output up until Q1 at a lower price, which is lower than the average cost, we are able to spread this average cost over a larger number of units of output. So we're spreading our fixed cost over a larger number of units of output. Our average costs decline. And that means that we are increasing the unit profits that we make in the local economy. And that's why we're making a profit. Okay, that's why we are doing dumping.